Sometimes there's this game which you totally don't have on your list because, well, you think it's not in your ballpark or you haven't really heard too much about it. And then you're playing this game and you just realize, holy moly, this is nothing like I expected. And that's what happened to me and playing Go-Go Town. And it's time for a new episode of Mole Thoughts with, as I said, Go-Go Town in early access. I've been playing this game since a few days now, and the first thought you probably get when you're looking at this game is, oh, it's Animal Crossing, but for PC. Well, that's wrong. No, seriously, this is not Animal Crossing. Yes, the graphics and the terraforming possibilities you have in this game are very close to what Animal Crossing does, but that is exactly where the comparison ends. You are not taking really care of your villagers, you are not really trying to just have fun in this world, trying to explore and find new things and do some quests and all that. No, this is a city builder slash town manager because you are starting out in Go-Go Town with literally nothing besides of some weird agents of the government telling you what to do, and then you are starting to slowly build up your town. That means you have to get shops in there, you have to gather the resources, you have to build the industry which will take care later on running those resources. Like you need miners, you need woodcutters, fishers, farmers, and so on and so forth. They will then produce the resources your shop needs to produce the items they can then sell to the tourists, because you're a tourist town and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of tourists later on pouring into your town, wanting to buy souvenirs, getting some food, seeing tourist attractions, and, well, you want to make money from that. You also want to make other resources you need to further build in your town. So it's not just money. There's some other resources down the line, and you have to take also care on hiring the people which you then can put into your shops, into your industry areas, yada yada. And you might think again, oh, so it is Animal Crossing, right? You have to take care of your townies. And no, it isn't. Again, there are people coming in who want something from you before you hire them. Sometimes they just want money, sometimes they want something to drink, or they want that you build a very specific building in the town, or you do something very specific for them. And then you hire them, you put them into a house, you put them into a shop or an industry area, and that's it. That's the maximum you interact with those people right now. You don't talk to them, they don't really have any stats, so you just need the manpower, but you don't really look for anything they can do well. And thankfully, that's the case, because there's so much you have to look out for. There's so many industry areas, so many things you can build, unlock, research. There is a whole importing, exporting mechanic later on, when you just have kind of understood how this game works. The game is also telling you, okay, great, you have now understood the groundwork. Let's talk about services, because you're building your own town, right? I mentioned that earlier. So that means you build the sidewalks, you build the streets, you build all those buildings you need to get from A to B. And you have to do it well, because when you are starting to have services, they will actually use your infrastructure to go fast from A to B, or, well, if you screwed it up, would take quite a bit of time, and that makes your town inefficient. You will have services which will try to clean your town. You will have services which will transport wares from A to B, so you don't have to do that anymore. Especially at the beginning, you have to walk around quite a bit to get like all the resources to the different shops. Like, that shop wants wood, stone, the other one wants certain food items, but not the apples. And it's a lot of like running around and filling up the shops till you reach the point where you get the services, and then you automate the process. And that's basically the goal of this game, to automate as much as possible. And you are then taking care of the infrastructure, you are taking care of creating the town of your dreams. And yes, there is a calendar, there are different seasons, there are different events, there are different goals and quests you can set. Like, there is a lot to do, which keeps you on your toes, on top of just managing this town and getting the best out of it. Like, as I said, you are starting out with a farm area, and that farm area at the beginning is just do some planting of like some potatoes or some apples you found, and that's that. But then later on, this whole farm will have animals. You will have huge plantations, and you need like a lot of NPCs to take care of that. Same goes for fishing and the different resources you craft. Like, this game is going deep, and this is only the beginning, right? This is only early access. The game runs fantastic, it looks good, and there's already tons and tons of content here, which, in my opinion, makes it worthwhile even in early access. Any game breaking bugs or issues? I haven't seen any. I didn't have any crashes. Like I said, performance is great. And I haven't really seen anything which like got my attention. I didn't have any bugs yet. There is apparently this one bug they will fix in a recent patch, which is that some people just have a fishing pole attached to them all the time. Like, it doesn't really stop them, it just looks funny. And that's apparently the extent of how many bugs there are in the game. So it's not really a problem. Like, this is one of those games you play and you have to remind yourself actually while you're playing, oh, this is early access. Wait, is it early access? Let's look that up very quickly. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. You don't notice it because there is quality here and it feels already ready. Now, what I have to say, if some people are interested, is there is no multiplayer yet. Maybe later on there will be some multiplayer, which would be probably pretty cool for this game. But they have a pretty extensive roadmap, but they are also reacting to what the people want. They have already announced that a lot of people demanded that the map is becoming bigger because they feel like it's pretty small at a certain point. And the developers immediately said, yeah, okay, we hear you. We wanted to do a map extension at some point later down the line, but it seems like we have to do that right now because that is something you really want. So developers are also listening and they're acting on what the community wants, which for early access, in my opinion, is really important. But man, I didn't saw this game coming. It hit me hard. And the moment I'm done with this video, I will continue to play Go-Go Town. It is available on Steam right now for 20 bucks if you want to check it out. I definitely recommend if you are looking for a city builder which is a little bit more relaxing. It is not a city skylines or anything like that. It's not hardcore. You don't have to juggle and manage a lot of Excel sheets. That's not happening here. But there is definitely a little bit of understanding of how to manage your towns and all that to make it really work out. Because as I said, if you're screwing up your town building, people will just take so much longer to get from A to B, and that will severely hinder how much money you can make from the tourists. And that's something you don't want. But with that said, I'm done here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like. And also, if you're new to the channel and you want to see more strategy games videos, that's exactly what we are focusing here on this YouTube channel. I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe. With that said, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Stay safe. Bye-bye.